Oh,
Hello.
it just stops like
Oh,
that.
is this thing on?
Testing, testing.
Testing, testing.
Do you hear the scratching?
I do. And that reminds me of all the ASMR videos that are on TikTok, people that go live waiting for ASMR. Have you seen them on TikTok?
Really? That's
Yes.
just like the
They're
weirdest
like
thing
this.
ever.
They're like doing all sorts of noises. Eric's like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm like, these people send them money to do it. It's the craziest thing.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, and then they put like the little I'm like, you're ruining your mic. They put that like what is it called? Slime, and it makes all sorts of noise, and they're just doing this number the whole it's the weirdest thing.
Eee.
Yeah,
Well,
it's so weird.
how did you get on that side of
I
TikTok?
have no clue. I'd rather be on the stripper side, but I end up on ASMR side. I don't know how I get there.
Right.
So,
Oh my goodness. Mr. Pineapples, are you going to join us? I see.
are you
I
gonna
am.
say
You
anything? I
finally
mean,
I've been saying
hello.
stuff. I was actually trying to bid on a comic book that I wanted,
Oh
Oh,
my
oh,
gosh.
don't let us interrupt you then.
and
We can go ahead and.
I'm
Don't
like,
let
I don't think
our
my comments are
intervention.
being listened to. I was like, I feel like I'm on my show again. It's so weird. And so then I realized I was like, oh, the show was live 2 hours ago.
Oh.
Oh, whose
Oh,
show?
the bidding was live 2 hours.
It's a live show,
Oh,
and they bid like so us, and they would just pull up their comics and say, hey, I got this one for $2. Who wants it? And then you comment you want it, etc., etc. So I was bidding on on comics that were at a show earlier. I
mm,
didn't know that.
So
interesting.
did you win?
Maybe.
Did you win any?
So I'm gonna actually message him on the side and just be like, "Did
Hey,
that go? If not, I'll take it."
Right. What did I win?
right? Did I win? Was I
You
the
you know
highest bidder?
what?
What
Demand like
demand?
that they send it to you and not pay for it like Joe did. That'd be
I
great.
already have enough of those non-payments.
What are you?
I don't know that I
Jamie
could do that
I
needs
again.
paid
AA.
that night. I don't understand
I don't
that.
drink.
Agree. It's well, he meant CA.
Like
Comaholics
comics
Anonymous.
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 Yeah, that's what he meant.
Hush your mouth.
What up, CPJ? Thanks for hopping in here.
CPJ in the house. In
Sippy
the
J.
house.
Sepia tone.
What
How
did
do
I
you say it?
say?
Sepia tone.
CPJ? I didn't put my rubber band in. Let's see how I do.
Now you're going to be over enunciating all of
Yes.
the words that I speak today.
Now I could be and not to mess up on my words.
You know what we should do? We should do a bit where we try to talk. Of course, Mr. Pineapples will win probably because he's been trained in that. Where you give us a subject to talk about and see how long we can go before you go, uh.
Next Monday, we have time to prep. No, well, you can't prep because it's
You
an
can't prep,
improv.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need a
Perfect.
random. We need to put people. We need to have our people
So
put
I
random
have a
comments.
game. I have a game that I bought. We bought for my wife.
Joe was talking.
It's okay.
You interrupting
I
Cal.
don't remember what it's called, but you have to talk for 60 seconds straight.
Hey, Joanne.
It actually is what you're talking about, Joe.
Oh.
You pick the card, and whatever the topic is on the card, you have to talk about it for 60 seconds. If you
Let's
don't,
do-
you lose.
So do you have it? Do we need to
Yeah,
go
it's
buy
upstairs.
Oh, okay.
It's a game I
We
bought
don't
for
need you
Dr.
people in your
Pineapples.
topics.
Yeah, never mind. We don't want anybody to give us any topics because that's probably
We already
gonna be
have our
better.
own topics.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So we should do that. Let's do that for next Monday.
Well, okay. So I trust Jamie and everything, but I don't trust Jamie as far as I can throw him. So we're gonna need somebody to purchase that game and give us the topics because Jamie's gonna go through all of them and then he's gonna pick his topics and prep for him.
right.
Feel it in my
No.
bones.
I could see him.
I
Doing
don't feel
that.
like y'all know me that well if y'all really think I would do that.
I mean, I
It would have to be
not
something like
do that.
my pride, my assuredness of my excellence wouldn't allow me to do that because I would need it to be in the same level with y'all. Otherwise, it's not a fair beat. And I can beat anyone at any time when it comes to this that we're
Okay,
talking about.
I lost
So-
you at my assuredness. It's apropos for me to speak
Oh,
right now.
really?
CPJ says, "Go get it, go get it."
Yeah, I don't mind going to get it.
Joanne says, "Don't let Jamie talk. I'll fall asleep."
I'd win though. I'd win. So.
So maybe
that's
then,
funny.
if we'll see how well we do, and then if you keep winning, then you can only be the judge, and it'll just be between Sandy and I.
Forget that. Sorry, I don't play like that. I like to win. I like to play to win.
Oh.
So that's what we said. We said if you keep winning, then you can just be a judge of us.
How many times are we talking about? How many times of winning? You know what I mean?
Like once or twice.
Twice. Twice or 3 times.
Right, exactly.
Okay, Mr. AA.
Oh my goodness. So Sandy, what did you do yesterday? Or today, or whatever that you want to talk about?
I just need to tell y'all, I have some grind my gears. My gears have just been so grind. I really thought we had a show yesterday,
talk about this
and I
stuff.
was ready to tell y'all yesterday, but then I saved it as I'm going to save it for the show. So let me just tell you this.
Let's
for
do
it.
it. Let's go for
Let
it.
me pull up my notes. So the service industry is really pissing me off. Like I cannot even tell you how much.
When you say
the
service industry, give us example in the
trust, believe you me, interrupting Cal. I'm headed there.
You're headed there?
The first service industry that I'm pissed at are dog groomers. Okay.
Okay.
So we have 3 dogs. Everybody knows that we have 3 dogs. It's just easier for me to have a mobile groomer come to me and pick up my dogs and bathe them in my driveway.
Okay.
Found a mobile groomer. I'm excited. Left a great review. She says, hey, I'm due to come back this week. I'm like, all right, perfect. Put us down. Just keep us on a calendar. Don't even, just let me know when I got to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So then she messages me and says, oh gosh, the clipper that I use on your dogs broke. And I thought, okay, well, there's 2 PetSmarts in town. We've got several grooming places in town. She's like, well, I had to order it from Amazon. It'll take a couple of days. Bro, you don't Prime? I'm like, okay, just calm down. Just calm down. I said, okay, just let me know.
What do you mean you don't Prime?
Yeah, I know, crazy. So anyway, she finally reaches out and says, hey, since I'm going to be boarding your pets, can I just groom them that week? Totally fine. That will be perfect. Makes sense.
Yep. Sounds good.
And then life happened for us. And I said, hey, we're going to have to cancel our trip. Some stuff happened. So we cannot, just let me know when we can reschedule for the grooming. No answer, no answer, no answer. Finally, hey, I'm just now seeing this message. Lies. And says, I can do it on this day. And I'm like, perfect. I immediately fire back a message. Just let me know what time, because that day will work perfect.
Mm-hmm.
No response, no response. Day of, I still don't know. So when I wake up, I see that I don't have a message from her. And I said, hey, I've got to be gone by 8:15. Let me know what time you're coming. No response, no response. So at this point, I'm pissed.
Yep.
I go in there and remove my fabulous review. I remove it because this is no longer a good thing. Right. You've ghosted me, you've rescheduled, you've canceled, whatever. So I remove it. At 10 o'clock, she fires off a message. Well, I wasn't awake at 6:30. Bih.
She meant on the first day that you messaged.
You weren't awake on Sunday or Monday.
Van Winkled you. She was asleep the whole time. She was Joe to the extreme. If Joe was 98% at doing naps, if she was that.
Yes.
So I said, Bih. You didn't reply back Sunday or Monday. You had plenty of time. She's like, do you just want to reschedule or not?
Oh, or not.
I said, no, thank you. Have a great day. And then she replies back, well, these 2 people are great groomers. I thought if you just recommended them to me, hell no, I ain't calling them. Nah.
Is she watching us right now?
I hope she is. Anyway. So then I find somebody else.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, okay, gonna get him this day, this Saturday. Well, there's a Saturday that's approaching. She doesn't specify. And I'm like, are you coming today? She's like, and then she does like the big eyes. No, it's not next Saturday. Okay, no worries. My mistake. No big deal.
Yeah.
Then she messages and says, I have an unexpected funeral, so I'm going to have to reschedule Johnny in June. And my cynical brain's like, you lying ass mother. So, but I say, very sorry for your loss. That's all I can muster. That's all I can do. And then she replies back, But if you need to go somewhere else, oh, I can't get them in until after Easter. So if you need to go somewhere else, I totally understand.
They, have you been blackballed, Cindy?
So,
Ooh.
but she hadn't even seen my pets. Like, she didn't even have pictures of them.
She
She
doesn't
didn't
need
even
to.
know
She
what
has a
breed they
friend
are.
who just told you. She had a friend who told them about you.
And I don't.
You know,
Well, I
like
looked to see if
photographers,
they were
when they clump
friends.
together and they'd be like, go for the Abbey family because they tip well.
And that's my thing. I go above and beyond. Like, I do 20%, 25%
Right.
per pet. Per pet. Like, you make a killing when you come groom at my house. Like, we are not leaving, for less than $100 a dog. Okay. That's just what it cost me per dog.
You're like, I know my dogs are alive.
I know what they are. I know what I got. So anyway, enough about that. We can't find anybody, but so one of my friends says, "Hey, who are you using?" Because I've also been stood up. And so I sent her a screenshot. This is who I'm using. She said, "Well, strangely, I've been being put off since December 21. She had an emergency, then has had deaths, and then so she hadn't even gotten a chance to get in."
Whoa.
So we compared notes. She said she basically told me the same thing: unexpected funeral. And it's not the
Sounds
same
a little
person.
sus to me.
It's not the same person.
It sounds sus to me.
So anyway,
If on your next one, Sandy, doesn't go well,
I'm done with mobile. I'm done with mobile.
Yeah, I think
I'm
you might
sucking it
wanna-
up. I'm just going back to somebody else. I'm done. I'm just gonna take them in. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, so did I tell you I got a massage Monday?
No.
Anyway, I got a massage. Best massage ever. Anyway, so she tells me, "Hey, man, do you by any chance know somebody that cleans houses? I'm going in for surgery and I'd like to have some assistance while I'm down." And I said, "Man, I don't know anybody reliable. I'll tell you that much." She said, "The crazy thing is," she said, "I got a great referral and I talked to the girl. Girl was nice." And she said, and then she didn't show up. And I said, "Are you kidding?" She's like, "No call, no show, nothing." She said, "So I reached out and I said, 'Hey, hope you didn't forget about me.'" And she's like, "Oh, I'll get there." Never even apologized. And I said, "What's her name? Just in case." Anyway, turns out this person was somebody that I utilized, but she didn't do anything for me. She subcontracted me out to somebody else who did a shit job to where I ended up on my hands and knees scrubbing stuff.
Oh my.
But yet
goodness.
they're on the local recommendation page talking about, "Oh, me, pick me. I'm totally available and can help you."
Mm,
And I just want to go on there and be like, bird to all of you that are on there. And the same for my groomer. Every freaking dog, the old one, not this new one that ghosted me. But anyway, I'm just so sick of people not wanting to work. I really am. So sick of everybody.
I feel your pain. So I got this text just recently from this guy. It's like, "Hey, spring's about to come. Do you want us to come spray your yard so you get ready for spring?" This was the same guy that last year I messaged him twice. I'm like, "Hey, are you coming this week?" Red, no reply. "Are you gonna come this week?" "Hey, what's going on?" No reply. I was like,
Yeah.
how? And then you're going to send me something that you want me to use your services?
Yeah.
I'm like,
But I met him. I stalked this old man. I stalked him on Sunday. He came over Sunday, gave me a quote. He came Saturday. I stalked him on Saturday. He came over Sunday, gave me a quote and cleaned it up. I mean, best money I ever spent. I felt he's going to charge me $40 front and back. And I'm
That's a
like,
good deal.
"Yes, go, Mr. Martinez, go do it, sir. Just let me know when you're coming. I'll have money for you," because he only takes cash, and that's okay.
Yep.
But if you
Yep,
want his
yep.
number, hardworking little man.
Well, I use my friend's son. So if he ever does it, if he ever stands you up, I'm going to message my friends like, "Hey, where's your boy at?"
Who's your boy?
Right? It's like, "Where's your boy? He's supposed to be here. He ain't here." He's
Okay,
like,
well, that's good though.
yeah, it's like, hold up.
Yeah. It's so hard. Jamie, do you have a service industry complaint?
no, actually, I have quite the opposite, but I don't know if you're gonna like it or not. So
I can mute you.
That's okay if you want to. All right, so it's very interesting that you brought this up because I had something that I was trying to talk to someone about earlier today, but I was like, I better not say anything. And I was like, you know what? So I prayed about it, actually talked to God about it, was telling him, thank you for these things and whatnot. But I think it's funny that it's coming up this way because
And he told you to save it for the show.
I do want to, on the flip side of the bad service. So I had, several weeks ago, I was headed to Nothing But Cakes. Do y'all have that there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a really cool place. I went there. I left my card at home.
They
And
have
so I was like,
gluten-free
but I
cake.
have my GPay. And so I went online and I was going through and I told the woman, I said, I'm sorry, let me just order it online. So I'm going, I have to set up my account, all this stuff. And it takes a while when you have to set up an account. So the manager comes out, he goes, what's going on? Has he paid for it yet? And she was like, no, he's setting up an account. He was like, it takes a while, huh? And I was like, I know, I'm sorry. I didn't. This normally doesn't happen. So I'm going and doing it. And I ordered like 3 cakes, maybe 4 cakes. And he's like, that's okay. Just bless your day. Just go on and whatever. I was like, I hadn't paid for it yet. And he was like, that's okay. It takes forever to set the online account up, man. It's really okay. And I'm like,
He's
no.
like, we're sick and tired of your ass.
I was like, I really
How
do not
long
mind
is he gonna
paying.
be here?
I really don't mind paying. I was like, I'm sorry, I forgot. And he was like, just don't worry about it. Just go.
So
it's fine.
4 cakes you got for free?
It was like 3 or 4 of those mini bun cakes.
Oh, I was thinking the big ones.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
no, no.
man, they really didn't want your
So
ass.
anyway, he impressed me with that though. So I felt like, you know what? I want to make sure I pay for his place.
Reciprocate.
Yes. So I went and ordered a large butt cake for Dr. Pineapples for her birthday and a few small ones. And I paid for them, no issues there. So I did that. I've been several other times because they have a strawberries and cream cake that's limited time only, and I'm a sucker for strawberry cakes. And so I keep getting them
here.
Really? You sure? Anyway, I had lunch with an old buddy of mine, and we went to Chili's. And I've been looking for a new server.
I'm pretty sure you were going to boycott Chili's the last time.
I did at one point. I did for a little bit, but then they came back and fixed it. So anyway, the lady, she was really phenomenal. And so I was like, please get your manager and bring her over here. And so she brought her manager over here, and I was like, look, I just want to tell you she's been doing a great job, fabulous, fantastic. She has been on her P's and Q's. Everything is just phenomenal. I absolutely love my experience right now. I just want to let you know. So make sure to get her some lunch, pat her on the back, give her props in front of everyone in the back, and tell the kitchen they did a great job on their hamburger as well. So she was like, thank you. I really appreciate that because I was stressed. You don't ever hear compliments. Right. So thank you. I was like, no worries. So she came back and she dropped me off a gift certificate or gift card for a future visit, And I was eating with a buddy of mine. I was like, honestly, man, I said, this happens all the time.
I cannot even. You.
I said, hold on. It's not done, Sandy. So I went ahead. I had given her tip already. And I was like, oh, I'll go ahead and just give her the $5 gift card. And then I said, well, I've got some more gift cards because this happens so much. So I reach in my pocket and I pull out a stack of gift cards that I have because it just happens. I promise you. So I picked one of them in there. I don't even remember which one, but I picked another one and I said, there's $10 right there for her so she can go to a couple different places. And so then fast forward though. And from last weekend, not this past weekend, the weekend before, from the weekend before to this, just to give you a glimpse. So since then, I'll work backwards. So today I went to the bundt cake place again and told him, I love that guy. He's been phenomenal. I come and visit this place now because he took care of me. And he was like, have you gotten one of our punch cards? And I blew up and I said, you got punch cards? I've been here like, I don't know how many times, 50, 11 times already. He goes, get him a card. Punch 6 of them out right now. And they just went, and he goes, you got a cake? Here's a cake card. We'll go ahead and punch 2 of those out. And then I was like, no, you don't have to do this. I swear, you don't have to do this.
Yeah. No, don't do it, sir. Let me help you with the
I walked away with these punch cards where I'm like 2 away on each of them or something to get free cakes. And I was like, okay.
This says, I believe.
Earlier, I went to a pizza joint in town with a buddy of mine who I hadn't seen in years. I thought he was dead, actually. So we're sitting there eating. Someone comes to me and they say, did they bring you out your pizza? And I was like, no, but that's okay. It's a buffet. So I was like, it's no biggie. And she was like, okay, let me just go check on that. So she comes back. She goes, we're so sorry about that. They left your pizza there. So we're just, oh, shoot, it's in the backseat of the car still. She's like, we're just going to go ahead and give you the pizza. And then here's a gift card for next time. You get a free buffet on us next time. And I was like, okay, thank you. Several days before that, I was at another restaurant. So Look, I'm just gonna say, I can tell you from that
That's
one
a
time
superpower.
there was about
It's a superpower.
4 or 5 times that I've got gift cards collected throughout the last week of random places. And I kid you not when I say this kind of stuff happens frequently. It is, if I were to show you my wallet, I'll do it next time, but literally every other card in this fat stack is a gift card to somewhere in town.
My RBF prevents me from getting.
Resting B face.
So that's why I say I can't. I mean, I understand what you're going through. It's happened. I just, yeah.
It's the opposite of our experience, Sandy. That's
Yeah.
what he's
And so,
basically saying.
but it also happens like I dare not play like lotteries and stuff like that. We did this one thing at a church where you had to buy the stuff and put the tokens in the gift bags, and they ended up calling my name like 4 times, and I had these 4 giant, huge gift baskets.
Why would you not play the lotto?
Well, I don't, because if you don't,
He
win,
don't want to win
then
it.
you keep paying it. And, you know what I mean?
You don't want cousin Joe and cousin Sandy.
No, he
up
he
there.
sure doesn't.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm gonna catch
and
you
so
on
the
these
guy-
Coming out the
okay.
woodworks.
This guy who just finished burying our downspouts up here, I was like, "How much is this?" And he was like, "That, but if you pay cash, it's this much." And I was like,
burying your downspouts for your water park in your
Mhm.
backyard.
"For what?" No,
Water
for
park.
the water that falls on the
Oh.
house. Anyway,
I just
Oh,
assumed
So-
you had a water park.
we
Right.
had people who were
Lazy
like
river.
$7,200, $4,200, and I was just like, "Are you just
Do you
giving me
take
that price
comic books
because
in
that's-"
payment?
right.
So this guy ended up coming out very nicely priced, and then I was like, "How much do you charge for weekly, mow, clip, and all that other China jazz?" And he goes, "For you, $25." And I was like, "Shut up. Are you serious?" And he goes, "Yeah." He was like, "You've been good with us, so we'll do that." He goes,
So
"But don't
Mr.
tell
Martinez
everyone."
is putting the screws to me for 40.
Yeah. You better watch out there, Sandy. You better
There's
watch
just a
out.
weight, a balance. Like it's just the universe kind of. If he had told me 40, I'd have been okay with it and hired him anyway. But I was like,
Oh, I hired him. 40 was, I mean,
Good, right?
not that I
40's
would
good,
ever
too.
do it, but
I think that's what I pay. I paid 35. I think. I don't remember.
35. That's
well,
a
y'all
lot
know
for
that
you.
I'm a little
Your
bit
house-
on the
your yard's
outskirts.
small.
Like, you got to drive out of town for me.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why. Okay, let me catch up on these.
Sure.
So CPJ suggested I should send flowers to the grieving dog groomer.
Oh, okay.
Bid told her about you misexpecting a response, lady. Chon said she fake. Should we set up a GoFundMe for some sheep shear? Girl, I can't even do my own hair. I would never put my little dogs through that. Can you imagine the trauma? Hey,
I see
John.
those TikToks on or not TikToks, the YouTubes on the sheep
Oh,
shearer woman.
gosh.
She's so awesome. She's like, and
I'm
done.
just
like,
dying to know, Jamie, did you get called to the principal's office for flooding cars?
don't
Nobody tagged us that we get employee discounts. Anybody that watches the show. So that's pretty cool.
Oh,
That was pretty cool.
John said, I just got out of the dark room and seen you guys and lady are on. Well, thanks for joining us, John.
thanks, John.
And then Sean said, Mr. Free.
Mr. Free.
Thanks for the review, Mr. Corporate Office Guy.
Right, exactly.
Joanne said, okay, for yard work, I have Mr. Rudy, very reliable. And on the cheap dog services, I use a local place that did a great job. Then again, my girls were little. Good luck in finding a reputable place. Thank you so much. The downspouts that reset your bowling pin.
Yes. Money.
Get the hubbies to do yard work. And he does, Joanne, but he works full time. And he travels quite a bit. So that's my thing, to help him out. But Eric does
Aw.
everything. Eric be
Yeah.
cooking, cleaning, laundry.
Yeah.
I mean, let me just help with something, girl.
Let me tell you who doesn't. This freaking guy. Yeah.
Okay, Joe, tell us about your day. And then I have to tell you something very traumatic that happened to me today.
Oh, dramatic. So yesterday it was all windy. It was like fairly windy, right? And I was
Yeah.
like,
Kind of like
oh.
up here.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have a photo shoot today of a Texas Tech senior. And then I looked and it was a guy. So he doesn't care about his hair. So I still had to go out into the wind. And then of course, since it was super windy, I made the jet come with me. And can I tell you how much it annoys me that he's annoyed that I ask him to do something?
Yes.
Because all he has to do, like I'm carrying my light equipment around, all he has to do is stand on the light stand to make sure that it doesn't blow over. That's all he has to do. I'm not asking him to do anything else. So I would move the light stand over. I'd say, get off, move the light stand over, stand on it now.
Did you say iPod,
I would
earpods,
Right,
Apple
yeah.
Pods? I just
Yeah.
I
wanna
know
say-
that's right. He just randomly asked for some Apple Pods out of the blue and got
And then
them.
you huff
you just
when you
asked-
need me to act.
Right, exactly. So every time you do that, I just like pop them, boom. Right there.
Good.
But it was, and also, so my client was a guy, but his mom booked his session, and it was a 2-hour session, and right at the beginning, he goes, "Hey, I know my mom booked a 2-hour photo shoot. I'm not gonna do this for 2 hours."
Mm-mm.
I was like, "Boom!"
You're like, you're the customer. I have to
even
do
better.
what you say. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
so I was like, "Okay, not
How
a
old was
problem."
the
tell him,
kid?
I'm not refunding for
Yeah.
any time.
Yeah,
below
he's
that.
like, he
Just
goes, I think
FYI.
I just want, he goes, I think my mom just wanted it because you get a bigger print credit for the 2-hour session. But he goes, I'm not going to be doing this for 2 hours.
That's hilarious.
I was like, cool, fine by me. So, yeah, so he was a really good guy to work with, got it done. And then today I had another photo shoot. Now I actually have to measure my blood sugar every day before dinner because they're thinking because I'm pre-diabetic, so she
Right.
wants me to keep an eye on my my glucose
Sugars.
levels. And I was like, great.
So did you go for a checkup and then they gave you this, or they call you and tell you? Because it wasn't like that.
Yeah. So after I did my glucose tests,
Mhm.
she's like, your numbers were pretty high, so I want to keep an eye on it for a little bit longer. And I was like,
Said your
fine.
numbers were Snoop Dogg. So
Right, exactly. They were up in the clouds, so we want to make sure that you do that. But so now I have this little device. I prick my finger. It's cool because I just put in this little measuring thing, and then just a drop of blood onto the end,
He
and
says,
it measures
cool.
it. So
Wait till you're like on the 100th time and you're like,
yeah,
milking these tiny
I have
calluses
no
on the tips of my
blood.
fingers.
right, exactly. I was like,
He's gonna be like, I keep punching, but nothing's coming out anymore. And they're like,
Right,
oh, you gotta
exactly.
push
That-
down hard.
and my blood is still red, so we're good. But yeah, that's all the fun that we've had. Oh, and SJ was here. She's gone now, but she was here for a little bit. So.
SJ.
Yeah, and she didn't cry this time when she saw me. like,
There's-
like,
There's the plus.
There's that. There's that.
there's that. So yeah, so overall great day. Overall great day. Go ahead, Sandy. You had something
Very traumatic that happened to
very
me.
traumatic.
So, did a favor. They said, Sadie, can you come to the hospital and notarize some stuff? Sure, no big deal. Went up
Oh,
to the
you're a
hospital.
notary?
Yeah. Mhm.
Crap! Why didn't I know that? Why didn't I know that?
I charge $1,000, so that's
Oh,
probably
okay.
why. So anyway, went up there to the hospital. So getting there, anytime a hospital's I'm gonna get lost. It's a guarantee. It didn't matter that Siri took me there. I was supposed to be at the adult hospital. I'm at the children's hospital. Anyway, I'm circling, trying to get to level 3 because they told me level 3. So I circle. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm never getting to level 3. I still circle in level 2. Anyway, finally managed to get myself to level 3, go do my notary stuff, walk back to my car, and I'm circling because I don't know how to get out of level 3. Now I'm just seeing level 3 over and over.
For Sandy.
I've got problems. I really do. My brain is just like rerouting.
It's a permanent reroute.
Yes, it's always on permanent reroute. So anyway, I finally see level 2 and I'm like, oh, I finally made it. And this gentleman comes out and he waves me down and I'm like, sweet baby Jesus, please don't let me die today. I'm trying to get murdered at the parking lot. I rolled down my window halfway so he can't stick his hand in. You know, my true crime brain's thinking.
Right, yeah.
And I said, yes, sir. And he says, ma'am, I need help. I'm fixing to fall over. Can you help me? I need a wheelchair. And I'm like, oh, hold on a second. I said, hold on to that truck. And so I whip into a parking spot and I'm like, hang tight. So I'm grabbing my purse and I said, Jesus, please don't let me die today in this parking garage. Amen. I get my phone, I get my bag, get my keys. And so I walk over to him and I said, okay, sir, what is going on? He said, I've been pissing blood for the last year And when I finally get a good look at him, he is pasty
Pale.
white. He is
Oh.
pale. He has no color in him. And I said, okay, so I'm like the worst possible person he could have flagged down. Like, today is your unlucky day, sir. Like, I'm so sorry that you stumbled on me. I was lost. And then you flagged me down, sir. Anyway, so I'm like, focus, Sandy. We have to help this man. And he's like, please, and he's like panicking. He's like, please help me. I'm about to pass out. He's got no strength. And so I'm like, okay. And so I don't know where to go because I don't know where I am. And then luckily this poor person is walking by and I'm like, ma'am, please get us help. I said, he's about to fall. I can't carry him. And so she goes into work mode. She's a nurse. She's a student nurse. And I couldn't see from where I was to where she was. I'm just yelling at her.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, tell me your name. And he tells me his name. And I'm like, okay. I said, I'm going to stand here with you. I said, I've already called. And he's just telling me, he's like, I'm from here. I'm this years old. And I used to be this and I used to be that. And I'm like, okay, no worries. I said, you know what? Let's try to walk towards the elevator. Maybe people can see us. So I said, hang on to me. Look, I mean, I almost blow away with the wind. Okay.
Right.
So I'm like, and he's a bigger gentleman. And I'm like, come on. So, I mean, we've kind of got a little system going. So we're shuffling, but the whole time he's rocking back and forth. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, please don't let me fall with this man. Cause then we're all in trouble. So then we walk and I said, do you need to stop and and take a break? And he said, yes, please. So we lean up against somebody else's car. And I said, hang tight. I see an emergency phone. So I'll go over there and I'm trying to open this box. Well, you don't open the box, you push the button. So I'm in panic mode. I didn't even see the button to begin with. So I push this button and I'm like, and they're like, security, blah, blah. I said, I need a wheelchair. I said, there's a gentleman that's about to pass out. I said, we need help ASAP. Anyway, so I go back to him and I said, okay. I said, there's a blue siren going off. I said, we should have some help coming. So, and I said, do you think that we could walk to the elevator? He's like, yes, I think so. So here we go again. We're walking towards the elevator. We're facing, I push the button. He pushes the button and then we wait. And I hear it chime, but nothing opens. I look behind me. It's the damn elevator behind me. We're waiting for the elevator in front of us. And I'm like, okay, sir. I said, let's go back this way.
I know you used all of your energy to wait for this elevator.
Yes, sir. I know that we were hanging on for dear life for this elevator.
But you know,
Anyway.
that's real quick, Sandy. That reminds me when I was at my last job, I went into the elevator and I'm pushing the button to go back to the ground floor. And I'm just sitting there waiting. And then I hear the ding too. And I'm just like sitting there waiting. And I got my earphones in though, but I could hear that ding. It's loud, right? And I'm just like, what's going on? I'm not moving anymore. And so I kind of just look at my phone and I lean back and I go, oh my gosh, the door's open behind me. I was like, great. So I get what you I get it.
So, okay. So that we finally get over there and I put him up against the wall and I say, hang on. I don't know where I'm going. So I pushed level 1 and I said, all right, mister, don't get out just in case I'm on the wrong floor. Sure enough, I was on the wrong floor. So then I pressed level 3. We go back up to level 3. I'm like, hang on, let me make sure we're at the right floor. We're at the right floor. I was like, come on, mister. So, I mean, I basically kind of just put him on my back and I'm like, okay, there's a bench. Let's sit you on this bench. And he's like, at this point, I mean, he's already yelled at me and I get it. The man is dying. The man is sick. Okay.
Right.
And I said, okay, sir, just hang tight. And he's like, I just need a wheelchair. And I'm like, I know, I got you. We're going to figure this out. So then I see a security guard and this nurse coming. And I'm like, can y'all please help me? He needs help. He needs a wheelchair. And they were like, yeah, we already sent someone down to find you. I'm like, well, we came up on the elevator because we were getting desperate. Like, I felt like it had been an hour, but it was probably fine.
Right.
But, you know, when you're in that instant, I'm
Right.
like, this man's finna code on me. Anyway, so they finally, I see I'm at the Skyview walk thing at Covenant, and I can see people running with the wheelchair, and I'm like, ooh,
Like right
I
here.
messed up.
They're
Anyway.
they're
They're
running
like,
past you.
you should have stayed right where you were at.
I should have, totally.
Those are the basic
Totally.
instructions I always say, you know, stay where you are or we'll come to you.
But it's me. and we're rerouting. Okay, we're
She was
rerouting.
continuously rerouting.
We were rerouting. So anyway, I said, "Sir, do you have family that I can call to let them know that you're here?" He said, "I don't have any family."
Oh.
So then my heart starts breaking.
I was about to say wrong person to say that to.
My eyes start tearing up,
Stop
and
it.
I'm telling you, hold on, it gets really good. And so then they come over, the nurse, the doctors, they all finally make it up, and they're asking me his medical history, and I said, "Stop right there. I'm just a stranger. I don't know anything about
You
this
should have
man."
told them everything. You said
Right.
so. He's been peeing blood for a while.
Oh,
No, no,
well, I
no.
He's
did. No, no,
very
no. I
pale,
did. Trust me. I
and
said he
we
drove
walked up
all the
here.
way over here
That's
from.
his history.
No, he drove all the way over here from a little town outside of here. Rhymes with Leighton, and and then he's here. He's parked on level 3. He's 74 years old. He's been peeing blood, and then y'all know how I'm sensitive about smells. He had urinated himself, and I didn't smell it. I think that was the Lord protecting me because I would have gagged. But anyway, so they were saying, do they're asking me all these questions, and I'm like, I don't know a whole lot of anything. And so I'm like, what I did tell them, okay, trying to shorten it up. So his name is stuck in my brain, and I'm like, I know that last name. So I said, hey, we used to know somebody. I called a friend and I said, hey, we used to know somebody with this last name. She's like, oh, I don't remember. Call this guy. So I call this guy and I'm like, hey, we used to know somebody. And he's like, yeah, there's some dynamics there, but I'm going to give you this guy's number so you can call and find his number. Anyway, I called. I found the number. They gave me the number to his brother. I connected with his brother. There's some estranged business going on. I'll tell y'all later, but he did tell me quite a bit of stuff that's happening. I said, look, I just wanted his family to know in the event that he doesn't make it past today.
Right.
And because I was truly, genuinely very concerned for him. But when I got in my car, I didn't know about the siblings. So, I mean, I'm crying. Like, I'm just devastated for this man.
Wow.
I mean, and I really thought that he was going to die. And I'm like, I'm worried about him right now. Like, I don't know if he's made it.
Sandy, it's crazy that you found his brother. You
Okay.
are like,
Listen, the guy said, thank you for playing detective.
yes,
I'm going to take
you
it
are
over from here.
I cannot believe I was like, off the last name, you found somebody.
I
off
remembered. I
somebody's
said, I
last
know
name.
somebody from that town because I'll have to share the connections with you guys later just for hippo stuff. I don't want to be violating it, but yeah.
That is amazing story, Sandy. That's an amazing story. I will never have anything that cool happen to me.
I'm like, everything happens to me in like the most random of places. It's so weird. So weird.
Oh my goodness. That is just crazy. That's crazy.
But I feel better.
I think the only thing I'd have done differently is when the brother started talking, I'd have just been like, hold up, I just want to stop you. I don't need anything else. I just want
hell
to know.
no. I needed
Wait, we're
the
talking
I
about
got
Sandy
places
here.
to go. I got
No.
places to go.
No,
people to
sir.
see.
I said, you know what? As a matter of fact, let me just go ahead and kick back.
Get a coffee.
I sure did.
She's
He
like,
told
oh,
me everything.
she wanted the cheese man.
I sure did. I got the cheese. I'll tell you later. But, yeah, I got the cheese man. I know exactly what happened. I talked to 4 people to get to find him, but strangely enough,
It only took her 4 calls to find the right person.
Mm-hmm.
So I did something similar like that too, Sandy, when our junior high was trying to find people. I won't say their name, but we were like, oh yeah, where's Sandy? And I was like, that's a good question. Where is Sandy? So did the internet stuff, started looking around, found one number, called the number, was the brother. He told me we hadn't seen Sandy in forever. And I was like, huh. Okay, he goes, but he was like, she also that was Sandy's middle name. Sandy was her middle name. Here's her first name, and I was like, oh, and she was adopted, so her real name is. Oh, okay. So went digging around, couldn't find it. Did some crossword searches, found her, called her. And I was like, it's you, Sandy. Great to see you. Yada yada. Bring back. Come to find out later, she was like, I told her, I said, well, I have to let your brother know because he was wondering about you, and she was like, don't ever tell him where I'm at or who I really am. Because her name wasn't the name he gave me or the name that I knew her by. She had changed her name, but I found her that way to do some weird connections. And she was like, she gave me a few of the details. She was just like, I can never have contact with them. I've been away from them for like 20 years.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh God. And here I am digging up stuff and riling it. So I was like, okay, I think I learned my lesson. I won't ever look up people again.
I'll never learn my lesson.
I know.
No.
The producer is pretty good at like finding people too, and I'm just like,
Really?
yeah, she's
We will hunt you down like the dog that you are.
she's related to Sandy.
That's like, I had
Juanita?
lunch with that buddy of mine today. I hadn't seen him in years. I thought he was dead, actually, because he had a stroke before I left the farm over here. And
You thought he bought the farm.
well, I told him to. I was like, I was really
bit the
upset because
farm.
I thought you died and didn't leave me your Prince collection, because he's a huge Prince fan. He has lots of rare albums. I was like,
Fresh
no
Prince?
one is going to take care of your Prince stuff better than I would. So you leave those to me, because I'll listen to them and I'll take care of them. And so I was like, I knew you weren't dead because
Good night,
I didn't
John.
get
Have a
those
good
calls.
night. John has to leave,
Night,
guys.
John.
He has to go
Good
check
night,
his
good night, good night.
chemicals.
Go check.
That makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Chemicals.
You want to hear some? Y'all want to give your 2 cents on some stuff? Or Joe, did you want to say something?
No, I don't.
I actually found some Reddit posts that I was like, I could bring these up and everyone could kind of chime in on these things.
Okay,
So
let me
these
catch up on
crazy
some of these
stories.
questions,
Go
and
for
then
it.
we'll start that.
Comments.
Joanne says, Jamie, a question for you. Your electric car is charged on a 110 or a 220?
That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure, only because it's just plugged into the wall. It sounds weird. It's
Then
a
that's a
funky looking
110.
contraption. It just plugs right into the wall. But we are getting our solar gets installed tomorrow morning. And so it'll take
Solar.
48 hours. We do get a special converter that's going to be plugged up for the vehicle. So
So it's
maybe
changing.
220. Yeah, but just
Okay.
a charger, not the vehicle itself.
Thanks, SR guy. You saved the Jet's life with his huffing around wearing AirPod wearing self.
Yes.
Thanks, senior guy. Now I get it. John says,
okay.
change your diet, Joe.
I have been.
Thank you, John, for
It's-
saying that.
It's hard. It is.
Yeah,
so
especially when the
hard.
guy is used to eating a Blizzard every night.
I did
twice
find some
sometimes.
ice cream that is sugar-free, gluten-free, lactose-free. I'm like, that is.
What brand is it?
It's blue. I don't know what the
Awesome.
brand is.
That's not real ice cream.
Hey Google, what is blue?
Right, exactly.
She's like, it's not Bluebell.
It's not Bluebell. It is not Bluebell.
So CPJ says, code ASAP to the rerouting garage. She's stranger danger, I mean, it crossed my mind. It sure did. You married the guy with his estranged family. Good job, Sandy. The Lord will bless you with maybe a great dog groomer. But really, great job in helping another human being in need. And, the whole time I just, not then and there, but I just thought I would hope that somebody would help my elderly family member if they were ever in that situation.
Sure.
But I also was very upset and was like, I never want to be estranged from my family. I just can't imagine being estranged from my family and not having anybody to call in that type situation. So
Yeah, I think that's like more scary than anything else. It's not having, is there someone that you can call and you just not?
And he just said no. Oh,
yeah. That's
Maybe you're right.
brutal.
Maybe you're right. I kind of think about those times where people are like, when you see the person sitting alone in the lunchroom, go sit down with them. I find myself being that person who's alone in the lunchroom sometimes. I'm like, please don't. Just keep walking.
if you
This is
have
the
your
only time I
earbuds
have
on, then
to
I can
watch my
totally see
anime.
that.
Leave me alone.
If you have your earbuds on, I think people can respect that. But if you just sitting there looking like any minute, you gonna jump off the building.
Yeah. True.
Just keep walking. That's all I say is keep walking. Or ask them, hey, do you need a friend, someone to sit down with?
CPJ says
No.
you can call. Are you telling me I can call the hospital? Because the thought crossed my mind, but then I thought they
Oh.
won't give me any information because
They
I'm not
won't,
famous.
but you can
I
still
didn't
call.
think that they would.
There's a chance they might be like, he doesn't have any family, so I think they think it might be good for him to talk to you, so they might do something like that. But then again, they'd be crossing hippo. So
Gotta watch those hippos.
Yep.
They're dangerous.
But the violate is different. You can't charge a 110 and a 220 or the other way around.
Voltage.
okay.
But if you're just plugging it regularly into the wall,
Yeah.
then it's just a
All it
110.
is. Yeah.
The 220 is
There's no
usually what's on
special you need to do
is
for your
what-
house.
your dryer plugs into a 220.
Yeah, there's nothing
Yeah.
special you need to do
Yeah.
for your house. Now, there might be an electric vehicle out there that might, but I believe even with Rivians, I think it's
It's probably still a
just
110.
plug into the wall.
Mhm.
So there's the adapter that connects into the wall. That's what's different.
Right. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'll actually, if I think about it on Monday, I'll get some pictures so that y'all can see the charger and how it connects to the car. It's really weird.
Joanne, are
It's
you
so
looking
funny.
into getting an
So
electric car?
in the front of the car, it plugs into the front of the car. So the car parks into the garage, and we've got it in a spot where it just goes from the wall right into the car. But when I went to it's really funny because I think I know what I'm doing with cars sometimes, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna go pop the hood because of something, right? And then
You
I look and I'd
said
be like,
chase this, so I don't
this is not
think
a
that.
there's no engine up here. What am I doing?
You were gonna check the
I'm looking at
carburetor.
this thing and I'm like, there's no.
Make sure that the blinker fluid was,
Yeah.
filled up.
I'm an
Did you drain your
idiot.
antifreeze for winter?
I look at Dr. Pineapple's car and I'm like, okay. And I look at my car, I'm like, okay. And then we look at our electric car and it's like, nope. I don't know what this is.
What are those things the paddles that you use to
Oh, yeah.
revive
The
people?
AEDs or AEDs.
AEDs, yeah.
Yeah.
So CPJ said, "Oops, you can call me girl." Old lady Carrie and old lady Sandy breaking ribs, laughing so much. That's true.
That's right.
Okay.
That is right.
You ready?
So go ahead with your Reddit post.
All right,
Hit
here we
us.
go. I'm gonna go. So these are not. Anyway, I know it sounds dumb, but I want to talk about this. I'm a 20-year-old gay guy. I've never been in a relationship before. I didn't even have my first kiss yet. Friends and family tell me I'm cute, but honestly, I don't feel that way. No one has ever invited me on a date. I see all my friends enjoying their romances, but why not me? I don't mean I'm rushing, but I feel so out of place sometimes. I just want to know what's wrong with me. Why am I not good enough to deserve love? I try so hard being the best version of myself every single day, but sometimes I wish I had someone with I can share my thoughts, my goals, my dreams. I know it's dumb, but I just can't stop thinking about this every single day. So
You're
what
broken.
do you-
Next.
He's a hard.
It's
three.
so funny how she can be, she's like, he's so pale, he's about to die. Let me help him out. But then here's this story. It's like, oh,
Right.
Broken.
is
Next.
it really the same person?
I'm just joking.
He's a hard three. So so
Have
you know
one
what?
more.
You attract people when you are confident. And if you're not confident in yourself, then you're not going to attract anyone. And so if you are the wallflower, or if you're always like in the group, you're like behind the group, or you're low and nobody sees you, you're not. It's unfortunately it's not. You're not going to attract anyone.
You're low man on the totem pole.
Very low man on the totem pole. And if you do happen to run into you would literally have to run into somebody and be, oh, hey, how are you going? And strike up a conversation that way. That's the only way that you're going to talk to people. Then it's going to be hard for you to find somebody. You have to put yourself out there. You either gotta tell people, start doing things outside of the norm. Like you can meet people at
Outside
church.
of your norm, right?
Yeah, your norm. Like go to church, start meeting people that way. There's all kinds of ways for singles to meet people. And
Right. I agree with you. There
Yeah,
are.
and I was just
like,
like-
I'm like, people who say they don't, I'm like,
You're
like
not
you're saying,
trying
I'm
very
like,
hard.
church, find a freaking D&D group, go to a book club,
Yeah.
a photography class.
Right,
I mean,
exactly. What you have Facebook groups. Everyone's part of some Facebook group, whether it's a foodie group
Boutiques.
or something. Right. There is a way for you to go out and meet people and meet someone of similar interest, and strike up a conversation and just put yourself out there. This person is not doing that. They're more worried about what other people are thinking, or they're worried about themselves so much that they are not portraying any type of confidence whatsoever.
See, and I feel like that too when you said they're just stuck on nobody wants me. So I feel
Right.
like you give off the Eeyore syndrome, Eeyore vibe, that you're just like, you put that out there, and that's how you're carrying yourself. And yeah, I mean, that's not. If I was single and looking, I wouldn't go towards that person, because
Right.
I'm like, man, I want you to be, happy, fun loving. But if all you're worried about is yourself and what I look, I don't know. He just doesn't have good self-esteem. It doesn't sound like.
Right, yeah. I bet you if you were to talk to him, like if you went up to talk to him, he's like, yeah, I've been trying to find somebody to talk to.
He'd be a
And-
downer.
Yeah, he's going to be a Debbie Downer the whole time, and you're just like, okay, I think my cat's calling. I'm going to go this way and talk to my cat.
Yeah, I have to go
Well, I've
watch my
often-
paint dry.
Right, exactly.
I've often met with young men in like the college level age range, and have had conversations similar to this with them. And I would say my observation and perspective would be similar to what you're both are saying too. It's confidence is one of the number one things I feel like for men is needed when I hear these type of things. It's like you got to have some level of confidence. I'm not saying you need to be like the alpha male in the room, but some confidence is going to go a long way when you're trying to build those relationships, and you're going to have to be outgoing. And I know people who are outgoing, who are confident and aren't finding them. I'm like, then you got to change your environment. So like what you were saying, Joe, it's not about stick. And I've gone to the extreme where I've told them, I'm like, you need to leave the city. Then. You need to go throw your wild oats in some other place for a few years and see if you find someone out there, you know, and set up shop somewhere else or come back home if they're willing to. But if you're still here and you're still trying to find that and you're not, you definitely are the definition of crazy. You're doing the same thing, expecting a different result.
Right, exactly. And he's probably the nice guy that's not really a nice guy.
Or maybe the nice, kind of like you were saying, Sandy, like he's maybe the nice guy who's too Eeyore-ish. And so it's like, if you could get past all that junk, they probably are a nice person actually and can hang around. But all that gunk is just caked on, and it's like,
I suggest therapy for him so that he can work through that inner turmoil that he carries with him, because he carries it in, but then I think he also releases that out into
he's
projects it,
kind of like poop, right? Poop attracts the flies. If you're being poop, you're gonna attract the wrong kind of whatever you're looking for.
But he's not attracting anything.
He's not attracting anything though.
So it attracts the flies, but not the people.
Right.
So like
he's got moscas.
He needs a mata mosca.
Mosca issues,
So CPJ says it might be the I'm not good enough chains you carry. Let's fix that. Be good to yourself so you can be good for others. Very good.
Yep.
Self-esteem is a critical point in meeting people.
Yes.
Correct. And so many ask how to get confidence. Well, friend, confidence isn't something you get, it's something you do. So change your self-talk to positive
I agree with you on that, CPJ.
Absolutely.
I agree. Like, I am a proponent of speaking positivity outwards. Like, when I'm feeling things, like I'll be in the car or wherever else, and I'm like, nope, today is going to be a good day. Or today I am going to feel pumped, or, whatever it is.
Or today I'm going to save an old man from falling down.
There you go. So, I mean, you got to speak those things out there. I definitely agree with that. So, so I think they're definitely, anyway, if you guys want to share more, that's fine. I have two more if we want to, or I don't know how much time we're going to have, but
we've got plenty of time. That one went by fast.
Oh, so I think you'll like this one. All right. I'm going to condense this down because it's a little long. So it says, am I the butthole for not wanting to have the father-daughter dance at my wedding? So this person's dad, I'm going to kind of just sum up each paragraph. This person's dad has been emotionally abusive to their mother all their life. She is 28 years old. Dad has always been into pretenses. Basically, he does a lot of things that make it seem outward appearances look well, but at home behind closed doors, he's been really angry and mean to the children, to his wife. And so then at the wedding, or when the wedding's coming up, he says, hey, we're going to need to pick the father-daughter dance. So let's get that done. She does not want to do it because she is not wanting to put on that outwardly everything is fine kind of situation with him, especially because he's made his wife sick in that area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Steve sounds like he's been good to her, though, but there are times where he was always rough with them. But she doesn't want to have this dance in I don't know what I'm trying to say, because of the jerk he's been to her mom, and she doesn't want to portray this thing out there. So I don't know how to feel, and I really want to tell him that I'd rather not do the father-daughter dance, but I'm worried it'll break his heart. Part of me is thinking I should suck it up. It's just a 3-minute thing. Another part of me is thinking it's a beautiful day, and I don't want to ruin any part of it by dancing with the man who ruined my mother's life. So tell me, am I the butthole for not wanting to have the father-daughter dance at my wedding?
Is it her
So the
wedding?
bride-to-be is asking about her. Is it her bio dad?
Yes.
Just elope.
And you know what, Sunny? I tell everybody that too. So I'm like, you don't have to worry about anyone.
Don't worry about it. Just elope.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's about she's the bride. It's about her.
Yeah.
If he wants to make, I'm just like, it's not about him. It's about her and her husband. And so I think it's fine for her to say, you know what, we're not going to do that. We can
Is
do
he
something else.
is he paying for it?
Right, exactly.
I
I
did.
mean,
There was somewhere in here.
there's
There
so
was
many
somewhere in
factors.
here. There was somewhere in here that mentioned um, there was some monetary issue. Now, mind you, due to monetary issues, my dad has been extra crappy to my mom for the past couple of months, and I've been extremely angry at him for that. So she doesn't really say exactly, but I get the hint that there may be something monetary he's given to help with the wedding. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. I'm I'm up there with Joe. This is your wedding. This is your day. You do what you want to do, but
There will
whatever
be
choice that you
repercussions.
make,
Yeah, go with it and be strong.
whatever choice that you make, just know that there will be consequences to the choices that you make. And that may be further straining your relationship, or if you do it, you're going to feel icky because you hate him. And there's going to be pictures of it, and you're not going to like any of those pictures. I think you're between a rock and a hard place. And
Hmm.
Hmm.
like I said before, just elope and you don't have to worry about this shit.
Right. Exactly. Yeah,
So
that's a
there's
tough one. That's a tough one.
Mhm.
it is. So there's a part in here though that kind of, in my mind, it reveals something about her though, right? So when she says, "I don't, I don't know how to feel, and I really want to tell him that I'd rather not do the father-daughter dance, but I'm worried it'll break his heart." That kind of a sentence right there, at least in my experience, it doesn't come from someone who's just 100% cold-hearted towards their one of their
Yeah.
you know, parental figures or whatever. It
Right.
definitely sounds like he's a jerk on some level, but it doesn't sound like he's 100% a jerk either.
Hmm.
I
But
don't
there's
know.
always that. So it's her dad. It's still her
Hmm.
dad, and so she doesn't really want to like stab him that hard. She just doesn't want him to ruin her day.
So here's an example, or not an example. It reminds me of my wedding, Joe. I don't know if you remember, but at my wedding, when we were taking the pictures of the family at one point, my father-in-law got out of line. He and the photographer was like, "Okay, everything looks good." My father-in-law got out of line. He wanted to look everything before she started snapping. He wanted to check. So he goes over behind me. He grabs my father from the second row and pulls him down to behind my mother. My father says, "Oh, we're not together anymore. We're not together.
Right.
We're not married." And my father-in-law steps back, looks at everything. He's like, "Okay," and he starts walking away. He doesn't even acknowledge my dad. My dad says, "Hey, we're not together," you know. And then my father-in-law stops, turns around, he goes, "I know." Turns right back around and goes back to the spot. And then he looks at the photographer and he goes, "Now you can take the picture." And I remember this whole time I'm looking as he's going behind me and looking. I'm like, and I was like, "What is he doing?" Oh my gosh. I was like, "What in the world?" I am so happy he did that though, because as a grown up and being nearly 17 years married later, when my daughters look at that book, I love that they get to see my mom and my dad next together. And I know that they're not married, and I know that it
But they're your
sucked in the time,
parents.
but they're
Yeah.
my mom and dad.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I love that the girls have looked at those pictures and they see Dakisa's mom and dad next to each other, and they see my mom and dad next to each other behind me.
Right.
And I didn't like when they did it at first. I didn't like when he did it at first. But
Right.
I love that the memories there I see, and I know they're not married, but for a
You
second
know
I can look
that,
at those
but that
pictures and I
picture,
can see
yeah.
just the straight family.
Yeah.
So I hear her here,
Hmm.
and having experienced that for me, it's one of those, right? You know, I wish I could tell her. I'm like, I get it. I get how you feel, but there may come a day when you're not going to have your father around,
Hmm.
and you're going to remember that moment, and you're going to think,
That's why I
I
said,
hated it. I hated it, but I love that that memory's there still.
yeah.
Right.
You know, so
That's why I
Yeah.
said, like, whatever choice you make, just know that you got to live with it, whether it's to have him in there or to not have him in there.
Right. Exactly.
You got to
It's
deal
gonna be
with that.
tough either way,
Yeah.
and maybe just for the say we'll do a 2-minute dance or a 1-minute dance or something like that, just to kind of appease him or whatever. Find the shortest song that you can think of.
Right.
And
Speed up. You are the wind beneath my
right,
wings.
and just if you want to fight it, maybe not fight it for 3 minutes, but maybe fight it for 1 minute, because it's still going to be a memory. You'll have those pictures, and where you at least and you can know in your back of your mind that you were not happy with him at that point in time, but it's still a picture of y'all together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because what may happen is, like, if you decide not to do it, he may just bolt, and you're gonna lose your relationship with him forever. So
Yeah.
So that's a hard one.
CPJ has a good comment. She said, marital issues and parenting issues are two different things. Kids, stop taking on the role of protecting your parents when your parents stay. If he's a jerk to you, don't do it. Don't let him pay for your wedding and cut ties. The end.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree, CPJ.
Joanne says, I agree, Joe. It's her day, and why put on a show and pretend that it's all peaches and cream? She needs to make a decision that she can live with and not worry about what anybody else thinks.
I
Yeah.
agree with that as well.
Yeah. That one was tough.
That one was
Yeah.
hard. Yeah.
All right, last
I
one.
feel for her on whatever decision she makes, because it's not.
And don't you feel, Joe, like, okay, I don't know if it works the same for you, Sandy, because I don't remember. Yeah, we do have mother-son dances too. But the idea of not being able to dance with my daughter, like, I have no doubt that this man was a jerk to his wife, but I also have no doubt that he doesn't have a heart and care about his daughter either.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, okay. All right, so this one's kind of I'm just going to read it because there's only 2 paragraphs, but it's good. Here it goes. She graduated last year, but it was the most awkward thing ever. I was recommended to a place about an hour from my house and made an appointment to get a Brazilian wax. I am going to Mexico for spring break in 2 weeks. I don't get them often, and a friend of mine had just been telling me she used to just pull her underwear to each side, but now she just takes hers off completely because it's easier and more even. So great, that's what I'm doing. Only when I get undressed, I look up and see a very familiar face walk in. It was one of my students. I was mortified and could feel myself turn all red, but I wanted to respect her as a professional. I only had her in class for about a month, and she was a great student. We connected pretty well, and I helped her with her college applications. So I went ahead and did it, but that waxing felt like it took 3 hours. She tried to make small talk, and so did I, but we both wanted to get the heck out of Dodge. She did a good job, but I will not be going back. I did tip her pretty well, though. I can only imagine the amount of times this story is going to be told to her classmates, and now I'm embarrassed all over again.
That would be my
It's
luck.
bound-
It
it's
would be
bound to
somebody
happen.
that I knew.
Yeah, it's bound to happen. Especially as a teacher, she's gonna run into.
Yeah.
She's
And the way this makes it sound, I mean, the deductions you can make, this was a high school senior at the time she last had her.
It's fine. I think she's just.
yeah, it's
The
probably a
part
good
that gets me is
chuckle.
the small talk. I'm like,
Yeah.
So
how's it looking down there? We almost done.
How's my Arby's roast beef
It's
sandwich?
like, how's this? Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
How would y'all react in a similar situation?
I mean, it would be awkward.
I'd be like,
Totally.
so this is your call, but if you want to see if somebody else is available, I can come back.
That's pretty good.
It's like it's totally your call. It's a little weird for me. I will let you know that, but it's your call. If you want to wait and find someone else that's available, that's great. I would be happy if you decided to do that, but if you don't, I understand.
If you really want to see my business.
I think I could only have 2 responses. One would be like, nope, get out of here. Bye. Nope.
We're done. We're done.
Or 2, we go through with it, and then the minute they start small talking, I'll be like, no, you can just be quiet. Shut it. No.
We'll talk after. Just
Yeah.
take care of business.
Just
we can talk after.
just pay attention, and then let's go.
Oh, hold
Okay,
on. Hold
so-
on.
What?
My OB is an old high school friend's dad.
Oh.
I've been in their home. We've had drinks. He's hilarious. I asked him if it's weird for him. His response, girl, I see so many all day. Unless you have glitter coming out, I don't remember you. I'm not remembering you.
Oh my gosh.
That's even worse.
That would be.
Because
I-
I don't know if y'all ever read that. There was a lady that told a story that she was to see her OB that day, and she didn't have enough time, so she just grabbed a towel and cleaned it up there, and she went on. And when she was down there, they were like, "Why do you have so much glitter in this?" And she realized that she used a towel that she'd used to clean off glitter off of her child, and that's why she had so much glitter.
She didn't say it's because it's magical.
My little unicorn.
What are you talking about? You don't have glitter?
Right. Not normal. No, thank you. Sean is not
Sean.
showing you his glitter.
Oh, my goodness.
Joanne said, I can't even comment on this bare ass and spread eagle. Hell no.
Oh, my goodness. Oh,
Oh.
that one was fun. That's the way to
Yeah,
end the show. That's the way to end the show right there.
I knew as soon as I read this earlier this week, I was like, oh, I'm bringing this one up on the show. I've been saving Reddit posts so I can bring up for us in the future.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Glitter, because my name is Strawberry on Friday nights. So Eric had this joke, and I can't even remember why, but he had me in his phone for a minute for under glitter snatch. And I don't know why I'm telling y'all this. So anyway,
not even waiting for the after show.
he sent me an email, and the email said, to glitter snatch. It was I had to forward it on to somebody, and I'm like, oh, I said, change that, take that out of that email right now. Anyway, so never use nicknames in emails. Oh, look at Sean said, "Rrr." Oh no, he said rated R.
He's ready to go.
Rated R.
Awesome. Well, everyone, we thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Yes,
We
thank
really
y'all so much.
appreciate it.
For the
I
start.
hope y'all had as fun time as we did sharing all this stuff.
Season 4? Right? Season 4?
Season
Start of
4.
Season 4, man.
So let me just tell y'all, this was our first week back, but after this week, hopefully we're gonna have some more fun times. I have found there's I won't give you all the details, but just to kind of give you a little snapshot, I finally found a physicist to come on the show. So she's gonna be joining us soon.
I've got physicist.
Yes. Who plays the violin and does like a million other amazing things, because that's what they would do. Exactly, Sandra.
Right, yeah.
Exactly. I found there's a guy who's been on. I found him on Facebook, and he does these cool song videos. I don't know how else to say it, and I don't want to get too detailed because I want to be surprised when he comes. But I asked him if he'd come on the show, and he agreed to it, and he's already booked time for us. So you're going to be seeing him coming up soon.
Cool.
I've got a baker, not a Joe Baker, but a professional baker who's coming onto the show too. No, thank you. No, thank you on what?
Right.
I'm not sure. Just popped
Okay.
up.
So anyway, definitely got some folks who are going to be coming on soon. So
If y'all
you guys
know an
can
extreme
get to see.
couponer, I want to talk to those
that's right, you
people.
want-
They're like mind blowing to me. I think it's amazing.
Sandy, so it's my mom.
Your mom.
Legit. She is amazing. She has her
Vegeta?
book. Mama Vegeta has a books and coupons. And when she goes, she is that bam, bam, bam. I paid 57 cents for $150 worth of stuff.
And people
I'm like,
get money
wow.
back. I'm like, how do you do
So
that?
if you want, you could talk to her. I don't know that she'd come on. So if you're looking for someone to come on, we'd have to keep.
I'd like
looking,
to have
but-
someone to come on because I think they're just intriguing.
Okay, I agree with you. So there's a woman who used to teach that here in town. I'll see if I can find her and get her to come on.
Okay, cool. Like I don't know that I'll learn it, but I still want to ask.
So I've taken classes for it, and it's just
It's like football squares. I don't get it.
Yeah. It's intimidating. So, but anyhow,
Rerouting.
I object. But if you guys have some people you want to come on and share their story with us and tell us, share whatever it is about them, let us know. Just reach out to any three of us so that we can.
Sean really wants me to call your mom.
Yeah, he does. That might not be a bad thing to do anyway. But so anyway, there we go. We have it. We have not found a new outro a new sign off yet. So
I
if you
thought
guys have ideas, let us know.
Do you need me to do it?
Go
Bro,
for it.
call her. Oh,
Awesome.
Carrie and I may or may not be on tomorrow night. I gotta get with her,
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
but I'll keep
So that'll
you
be fun.
posted.
All right. Is there anything else, guys?
I don't think so.
I think
When
that's
does
it.
when does Doctor Strange 2 come out? Is it this weekend, Joe?
I don't think it's this
remember.
weekend.
I don't know, but I
Okay.
have a whole list of stuff that I want to watch.
Well, we should talk about it next week and see. Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, everyone.
Good
Well, we
night,
love you very
everybody.
much. We'll have a new sign off later. Love y'all.
Toodles.
You feel